Hey, what's up? Thanks for visiting the Piscifun YouTube channel. We are about to go through the breakdown and maintenance procedures for the Viper 2 spinning reel. Stay tuned and check it out. Okay, let's get started.
First thing you're going to want to do is take the handle off. And same thing with the spinning reel. As everything comes apart on a spinning reel, lay it out here the way it comes apart. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to pop the spool off. Then you have a little bitty clip right here that holds the bearing on to where you can get to that nut right there. Just going to get under it and pop it loose.
So as you guys notice, when Justin is going through and working on these reels, it can be really helpful to have a set of small tools that have fine point to them, because it's going to allow you to kind of get in there and be able to get some of these clips off or pop out some of these bearings. So to have a real good maintenance setup, you might want to just kind of make sure you have the right tools, like the long screwdriver and the ratchet and that sort of stuff.
Pull it apart, just grab a hold of the gear right there and pull straight up, just hold it all together. The first thing you want to do is take the screw out, and what the screw's job is to lock that nut so that nut cannot back out. To get this nut out, you're going to use a 10mm wrench and just give it a little twist and then loosen it up. And there's your bell assembly. The next step is you're going to remove these 3 screws. Just lay that over there to the side. Alright, now to pop it apart, you have a screw here, here. You're going to pull all 4 of those screws out, and that'll give you access to the gear case. Make sure you have a screwdriver though that fits in there good, because if not, you'll strip the head and the screws out. And I take these screws and I lay them out just like they all come out. The reason you always do that is most of these reel manufacturers, they'll usually put screws in that are different lengths in different parts of the reel. That way you do not get them all mixed up. Then you can grab a hold of it, just give it a little tug, pops apart. And as you can see, once you get into it, you've got a bearing right here. And then when that gear pops out, you have a bearing on the other side and the other handle side. Those are your handle bearings right there that the gear rides on. We're going to take and we're going to grease the drive gear. We took the whole entire reel and completely cleaned it out. So we're going to show y'all how to grease it so it's done properly. You're going to take a fine brush and just apply an even coat all around the gear. You don't need a ton, but you do want it on the drive gear.
So essentially what he's doing is he's basically just filling in the gaps in the teeth of the gear, and really no more than that. He's not gooping it on. It's not even coming up above the teeth on the gear. He's really just filling in those gaps.
And that's all you're going to do. I'll see reels come in from customers from time to time, and they wonder what the issue is. Well, on a reel, less is more. Do not do a whole bunch on the oscillating gear. Reason being is this oscillating gear, the drives up. So what it's going to do is it's going to take that grease, if you overdo it here, and it's actually going to slide it up the shaft. Once it starts sliding up the shaft, it can form a ring, and that can cause the reel to wind up getting hard to turn. So just a little bit. And that's it. While you're down here, you have to remember, on a spin reel, you have bearings on each side of your drive gear. So take and put your 2 little drops of lube in there. And you have another one on the back side of your drive gear. Put your 2 little drops in there. You do not need a lot. You have another bearing right here on top of your one-way clutch. Take and put your 2 little drops in there as well.
All right, we broke it down. Now let's put it back together.
First thing you're going to put back in is going to be your drive gear. Put it in, and you'll kind of slide it and turn at the same time so it locks into the oscillating gear. And as you can see, there's just enough grease there to where there's not too much. And then you're going to take your side plate and put it back on. And like I said, the screws, I lay everything out as it comes out. Spin reels, I have a lot of people that don't want to fool with them because they think that they're hard. They're not. A spin reel is too easy. Once you get the spool and the bell off, it's a cakewalk from there. That's all there is to that. Alright, so after you put all the screws in, you're going to put this bearing cover on. It has a little nipple right here that sticks up that has to sit right inside of there. Now, you're going to put the bell on next. Next, we're going to put the nut back on the bell. Remember guys, on this nut it is reverse threaded. If you go the other way, whenever you're taking it off, you'll wind up stripping the oscillating gear out. And then you're going to take, do not over tighten it, just give it a little bit. That's all it needs. And that's it. If you over tighten it, what it actually can do is you can actually compress that bearing and actually bust that bearing if you go too tight. Okay, so next you're going to take and put the screw in, and the point in that screw is to lock the nut so that it cannot move. And like so. Next, you're going to take this little gear and put it down. And then you have these little washers right here. And all these are spacers for your bearings. And the point in these is you can take and add and take away from those little washers right there. And what it does is it will actually move the spool up and down. So say it's putting too much line on the top or bottom, you can actually take or add from those little spacers to move your bearings around, and that'll raise or lower your spool. Now, after you put your spacers in, you're going to put the bearings on. Just taking them a little push down. That one. So you can push it on down. And you'll feel, as it's going past that little groove, there'll be like a little bit of a catch. And you're just going to push it down past that. Next thing that you have is this little bitty clip. And you're going to just take and put that on top of the spool, on top of the shaft there, and wiggle it past your threads to where it's down there. And then just take and pull it down. And just like that, back in place. Next thing, get your handle back in. Screw it all the way in there. Tighten it down a little bit. Next, take your spool, roll it around there so it falls back in the hole. And tighten it down. And then just like that, it's good to go again.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the breakdown and maintenance of the Viper 2. Click below for more breakdown and maintenance videos.